Warships in place are meant to signal readiness, but once escalation gets ruled out, they become an expensive burden on the US taxpayer just by sitting there doing nothing. The longer those assets stay deployed without being used, the fewer believable options remain too. The words the US uses now matter because they reveal what it can't do. When Washington talks about avoiding escalation or keeping diplomacy alive, it's signaling that there are limits it has to operate within. That language isn't neutral, it reflects the fact that force is no longer an easy or credible option. Once officials start talking that way, they can't pretend the constraint isn't there anymore. The language locks it in. Israel's position gets weaker the longer this goes on. Israeli leaders have described Iran's actions as an existential threat, but they depend on the United States to enforce any response. When the country making the threat doesn't control the enforcement, it loses flexibility, it loses credibility, it becomes a joke. You can't quietly walk back an existential claim. You either keep repeating it, or you admit you overstated it. Repeating it without action erodes credibility. Walking it back costs political face. More fool you. No sympathy here. But there's also a domestic political problem inside Israel. The leadership has told the public that escalation is both unavoidable and necessary, while also warning that escalation will be catastrophic. Those two claims can't coexist for long, can they? You can't resolve that contradiction with a few speeches. It creates pressure on the leadership itself, brought on themselves, rather than on Iran or on the United States. Iran's acting like a state that wants to control risk, not provoke a war. Its military exercises are meant to show readiness, not to trigger escalation.